Hey everybody, good to see you here. They let me come up and decide to play some music for all of you, and it's, gonna be something like a Fashionistas show or something like that. Well, come on over to the stage, the big train over on the left side. It's also called the Bob Stage. Yep, come on over, come on. Trust me, I've seen these girls, these fillies out back. Woohoo! They some pretty girls. Oh, is that my out loud voice? I guess it is. Yeah. Hey, I'm Temptation. I'm the one that's up here flying. They said something about steampunk, and I went, I know how to do that. This has been a fun BURN2. I've been running around for quite a bit, and I've been looking at all of the fun stuff. Hey, have you tried the opium? I might have gotten into a little bit right before the show, so, it's the thing. Oh, now what else? Oh, yeah. There's going to be telling me stuff, and I'm going to be reading stuff, and all that other kind of fun stuff. So come on over to the stage. Check it out. These girls, woo! That might even be a stud or two back there. Shh, don't tell anybody, okay? Anyways, and they're going to come out and they're going to show you all of their wonderful little Philly stuff. Trust me. We got steam, and we got Victorian, and we got Clockworks, and we got all kinds of fun stuff coming up. And I promise you, I won't have this horrible accent when I tell you all about them today. Sound good? Sounds good to me too. So, I think they're just about ready. They're about to plug in the steam engine, and we're about to get started with this party. Ladies and gentlemen, let us get this going. And we're going to start off. Alright, here we got a steam machine mechanic. This wardrobe contains all the accoutrements needed to repair any steamship, be it air, land, or water. The large wrench is also used for self-defense, incurring any bandits or ghouls out there in the wild.
A fire's high and the airbags tight. A food's low but the skies are bright. A prop spinning all through the night. We're low on cash, we're seeing another target. Goggles down and the cannon's up. My blood starts pumping as I drain my cup. I give the wheel a spin and I turn the skull around. We're way above ground but we're cruising on a target. Ships filled with despair. We even up, we're broadsides bare. Our cannons flare, but it's just to show up muscle. Steady engine doesn't need to
our model Camille with a Victorian blossom. Miss Camille flutters out into the streets of a western town in her pink Victorian day dress and her pink hat. Flutters her pink wings delicately as she goes along. One has to look carefully for the evidence of mechanisms in the wings, and the little skull on her hat, and the fact that her fans are Japanese weapons. For all of the innocent pinkness, she is probably trouble.
I declare, that sure is worth looking at. Oh boy, how sweet those lips must be. Oh, gaze on it, doggone it, answer me. Ain't she sweet? See her coming down the street. I ask you confidentially, ain't she sweet? Ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. I ask you confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast a little light in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? I repeat, don't you think that's kinda neat? I ask you confidentially, ain't she sweet? Just cast an eye, why, in her direction. Oh, me, oh, don't you think that's kind of neat? I ask you confidentially, ain't she sweet?
Clockwork dreaming. Freya's bronze dress shimmered with the light of countless gas lamps as she wandered through a city both familiar and strange. The gears on her gown whirred softly, adjusting as she moved, responding to the pulse of the world around her. The streets bustled with gentlemen in tailcoats, women in corsets and feathered hats, and mechanical contraptions puffing steam into the night air. She knew this place. It felt like home. But there was something else, something pulling her forward, and suddenly the world flickered. She gasped. The cobblestones beneath her feet melted into smooth, glowing roads. The gas lamps turned into towering spires of neon light. Carriages vanished, replaced by silent, sleek machines that gilded without wheels. The people, no longer draped in Victoria finery, wore shimmering fabrics, their voices carrying words that felt foreign, yet intuitive. Freya clutched her chest, feeling the gears in her dress rotate faster. This wasn't the world she knew. She was dreaming, and it was a dream of tomorrow. Was it truly just a dream, or she had glimpsed something more? She was caught in an intricate dance of time itself. Freya exhaled, steadying herself. She would build bridges between past and future. She would make her dreams a reality. She would dream again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we've got Jen. One of our wonderful fashionistas here at the show. Jen is definitely looking gentlemen, this is Jim. Fashionistas here. With blazing saddles, Lily rode into the Clockwork frontier.
He turned our
Singing this song, here I stand, the goddess of desire. Set men on fire. I have this power. Morning, noon, and night. It's drink a dancing. Some quick romancing. And then a shower. I'm tired. Sick and tired of love. And I've had my fill of love from below and above. Tired of being admired. Tired of love unaspired. Let's face it, I'm tired.
Star, his job to offer battle to bad men near and far. He conquered fear and he conquered hate. He turned dark night into day. He made his blazing saddle a torch to light the way.
And if you guys didn't get that reference, I'm going to assign you to late night TV watching. Model lyric and the Clockwork waltz, striding into the runway like a vision from the future. Oh, hang on. No, your voice needs to go away. We're just listening to mine. Okay, striding onto the runway like a vision from the future the Wild West never saw. This is lyric. Geared up and ticking to the rhythm of Second Life itself. The heart of this ensemble is a metallic bodice sculpted to perfection, gleaming with the promise of steam and steel. But the true spectacle of skirts of intricate pipes, welded together in a symphony of brass and copper, each twist and turn whispering of years unseen. Adorning this mechanical marvel, clocks embedded in the pipes chime with the pulse of real-time Second Life hours. Because in this frontier, time is not just kept, it's worn. And And atop it all, a commanding top hat crowned with yet another ticking timepiece, marking each second with a purpose. Lyric is not just dressed for the frontier. Lyric is the frontier, where past and future collide in a dance of steam, brass, and precision. She's wearing a road-worn side of bloomers with a corset and chemise. Get back out there. I'm not done talking about you. She is covered head to toe with mechanics oil and dust from riding her mechanical crow across the vast frontier. Her trusty crow runs on steam. And whether it's kicking up a plume of dust or sputtering through town, it always turns heads. And like her crow, she has mechanical wings that also run on steam. Steam power played a pivotal role in the development and expansion of the American West, particularly through steamboats and steam locomotives, which revolutionized transportation, and it facilitated westward settlement and economic growth. Now we got our model Parker. I'm going to tell you, Parker's the one that's been keeping us all straight here. Thank you very much, Parker. And stepping out as a steampunk white rabbit is like slipping between the gears of time itself. Part dapper Victorian traveler, part mischievous timekeeper, the white top hat sits snugly on Parker's head. The tail, rabbit ears standing at attention, lined with brass wiring that gives them a subtle mechanical look. And with every move, the small gears at their base catch the light, glinting like they're part of some secret clockwork mechanism. As she walks, her lace-up boots clack against the floor, the faintest jingle of chains and brass trinkets accompanying every step. The weight of the costume feels regal yet adventurous, like she would dash down a winding alley at a moment's notice, escaping through a steam-powered portal to another time entirely. this time. My deepest apologies, Nico. I do make mistakes. Anyways, this is the Explorer Anx, a former midship person. She is driven by a thirst for adventure and a desire to map the uncharted regions of the world. She is known for her daring expeditions, her knowledge of ancient languages, and her ability to navigate treacherous terrain. She has a collection of maps and journals and a keen eye for detail, facing intrigue and uncovering ancient secrets along her journeys. Now we got our model, Susie. She's definitely a working girl. Of course, we have Susie in her Sunday dress. Her attempt to look sophisticated, drawing attention away from her profession. Oh, you ask, what's her profession? Well, they have been called by various euphemisms in film, novels, television shows, and songs. Saloon girls, soiled doves, ladies of the evening, and many other names have been used to describe practitioners of what is known as the oldest profession, prostitution. In the West, they were found in bordellos and brothels and houses of ill repute, in opium dens, in hotels and tents and saloons. And most were presented as being good-hearted, strong women of character and moral standards, despite their chosen professions. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm one for believing it should definitely be illegal in every place. Returning to the runway, we've got our model here, Broken. Beautiful women in red dress with bloody teeth. The poppy. As beautiful as the flower, also so deadly. There may be human flesh in those teeth, rumors have it. She hunts at night, looking for the weary and all alone. Stay in groups, and if you may not awake to the terror of the woman in the beautiful red dress eating at your face. Stay in group, folks.
My life's a bit more colder. Damn wife is what I told her. Brass knife sticks to my shoulder. Oh, babe, don't know what I'm gonna do.
be my redhead, mess bed, tear shed, queen bee, Miss Squeeze. The stage smells, tells, hells, bells, misspells, knocks me on my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood, squirt, stuff, shirt like me on a tree. After I count down 3 rounds, hell, I'll be in good company.
All right, here we got a tough girl with propellers, our model Camille. Now, Miss Camille in a dire, gritty aspect. This is not pretty, Miss Camilla. Dusty and serious with elaborate mechanisms for wings and a little extra lift from the propellers on her boots. Lest you think she is completely reliant on tech, she does have... And her gun. See if we can get her wound up and get her out here. Yeah, that's our model Lily. It's a clockwork doll. Clockwork doll with a painted smile. You'll dance for hours, lost in the white, ticking, turning, winding tight, fading away with the moon's first light. Clockwork doll, don't you cry. In the turning gears, time will fly.
Turning around on this music box that's wound by a key. Yearning, yearning, while I'm turning around and around. What do you see, you people gazing at me? You see a doll on a music box that's wound by a key. How can you tell I'm under a spell? I'm waiting for love's first kiss. You cannot see how much I long to be free. Turning around on this music box that's wound by a key. Yearning, yearning, while I'm turning around and around.
prairie sprite from the wind-swept plains where steam meets stardust. Yeah, Lyric takes the runway. A dust-born tinkerer, a prairie sprite with a knack for invention. Her wings crafted from delicate brass filigree and powered by a hidden clockwork heart. It all hums with the soft whir of machinery, fluttering like a whisper on the desert breeze. Thanks for oiling that whir back there. A rugged leather corset worn like the armor of a frontier spirit cinches her frame, stitched with the resilience of the West and adorned with gears that gleam like a gold rush sunrise. No ordinary fairy. This one walks the frontier with a purpose. Boots kicking up dust, tool belt stocked with the gadgets of a dreamer who builds her own destiny. She is the myth of the West reborn, where magic and machinery ride side by side beneath endless skies. Miranda is riding a whimsical steampunk bicycle version that is rigged to play music. Some fun facts about bicycles and their history. The first bicycle was created in 1818. The dandy horse or running machine invented by Carrie van Dras. This contraption was propelled by the rider pushing himself along with his feet on the ground, lacking pedals, a steering mechanism and brakes. It was difficult and even dangerous to maneuver. Now, in 1860, the first true bicycle invented by Ernest Michaud and Pierre Latimant, known as the Venipicide. It included crank and pedals, but no brakes, resulting in many dangerous headers. And then in 1870, penny farthing bicycle invented. Now, this name came from the idea that the wheels resembled 2 coins, the penning and the farthing, and next to each other. The former significantly larger than the latter. It was unstable, extremely difficult to get on and off, and the front wheel was used for power and steering, considering it was not an ideal or efficient machine. Now, in 1885, the safety bicycle was invented by John Kemp Starley, and it characterized by 2 wheels of the same size and a rear wheel connected and driven by a chain. Now, this made for a more efficient bicycle that could use smaller wheels, and this invention was named for the obvious reason that it was safer than the penny farthing because of the lower center of gravity. And we keep that same configuration today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our model Miranda.
And I'll never tire of the love that you give me every night. There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. That's a fact. It's a thing we can't deny. Like the fact that I will love you till I die. And there are 9 million bicycles in Beijing.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free.
Model Nico and the Airship Adventurer Unks. It is a steampunk-inspired kingdom. A princess displaced from her native land on Earth's surface, and she flees upward into the sky. But soon they realize that there's a bigger threat up there that might jeopardize their people's entire existence.
Take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black. Tell them I ain't coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. But you can't take the sky from me.
Sliding into our steampunk military prototype, suit feels like stepping into the future as imagined by the past. Equal parts brass-clad warrior and airborne tactician. The camo skin hugs tight, a shifting pattern of dark greens, browns, and muted brass that seems to blend into the environment at will. Not just fabric, but a mechanized second skin infused with tiny steam-powered actuators that subtly adjust the tones based on surroundings. An experimental adaptive camouflage design for battlefield stealth. Strapped to my back is a steam compression module, hissing softly as it vents tiny puffs of mist, regulating pressure and feeding power to the aero boots. Now these boots that are sleek, reinforced leather with brass-plated soles, house an intricate system of micro-thrusters, powered by an experimental steam core. The gauntlets lined with exposed pistons and miniature gear clusters flex with each movement, enhancing grip, strength, while strong kinetic energy for an extra powerful punch. A Monoker targeting scope flips down over one eye, feeding real-time range calculations and tactical readouts. And a fusion of analog precision and steam-powered ingenuity.
We went one day.
All right, now we got a new sheriff in town, and that's our model, Susie. Susie has taken up the mantle of sheriff in this rough and tumble town filled with men who believed the law was nothing but an illusion. As she walked down Main Street on her first day, Susie could feel their stares piercing her skin like needles. Some were curious, others scornful. Sheriff Susie adjusted her hat against the sun's glare and inhaled deeply. It smelled like gunpowder mixed with opportunity. Sheriff, called out an old man Jenkins from his perch outside the saloon, his voice hoarse from years spent shouting at clouds. What makes you think you can keep peace here? You're just a girl. Well, Ellie's heart pounded at his words, but steadied herself before replying, "Justice doesn't wear gender," she said firmly, meeting his gaze unflinchingly. "It wears courage." And ladies and gentlemen, just in case you didn't know, you can rob the bank of bacon.
Friends, to go our bid, so here we'll stay, 'cause we can't pay. Just send our mail to the Tijuana jail. Just $500 set us free. Hey, borracho, cállate! I couldn't raise a penny.
Hey, that's because we're burners. We don't use money. Do you not know this?
Don't sound like much, but just try to find somebody to touch. So here we are.
Alright, our next model of the Fashionistas is Lily. A dance hall girl with a heart so wild, she's got that fire. She's got that smile, boots tapping to the rhythm of a whiskey sound in the wild, wild west. Well, she's the talk of the town. Fascinating one because it includes Benjamin Franklin, a couple of French paper makers, and a couple of barnyard animals. After many repeated experiments during more than 20 centuries, the secret of aerial navigation was discovered towards the end of the 18th century. In 1782, when Stephen and Joseph Montgolfier made their first experiments. They got the idea from watching smoke from fires that hovered over Parisian rooftops for hours before it ascended into the clouds. Now, this inspiration that led to the invention that changed our world forever. The younger brother Stephen realized that if the light paper bag was filled with smoke from the fire, then it would naturally rise up towards the sky. Their first balloon experiment rose to a height of 75 feet. Several other versions were made and launched. Some tore, some burned, but they kept on trying different combinations. And eventually, the balloon included a wicker basket and was inflated in the presence of King Louis XVI and the royal family in Versailles. Now, the French king suggested a sheep, a duck, and a rooster to be placed in the basket as the first hot air balloon passengers. With these 3 living animal passengers, the balloons were launched into the upper air and reached an altitude of 1,500 feet. And these animals landed safely at a distance of 10,000 feet from the place of the ascent. And the first official balloon flight was a success. Miranda honors the history of hot air balloons by sharing the steampunk contraption with everyone. To go, and then I hope you will stick around and join us as we all come together for one final bow. All right. Hey, now we have Nico once again in Whispering Willow. Ox, a guardian of the ancient forest, wielding the power of steam to defend the last untouched wilderness from encroaching industry. Fashionista, can you believe it? What an amazing show this has been. This is our model, Susie, with her farmer daughter outfit. A fierce wind danced across the prairie, stirring up clouds of fine dust that painted everything in hues of ochre. It was here that Susie found herself restless and yearning for adventure beyond her father's farm. She was not just any farmer's daughter. She was a dreamer trapped in a world bound by tradition. Susie stood at the edge of their property, her red hair whipping around her face as she squinted into the distance. The sun hung low, casting an orange glow over everything it touched. Her heart thudded like a runway horse as she contemplated what lay beyond the horizon. An uncharted territory filled with possibilities, excitement, and perhaps even trouble. All of our sparkling diamonds back out here from tonight's performance. Can you believe it? All of our wonderful girls, they did such a great job with every single thing. They put these outfits together themselves. They give me the descriptions. All I do is pick the music and do the talking. So, thank you everybody for joining us for the 2025 Fashionistas at BURN2. This is definitely a steampunk revolution, and I really and truthfully want to thank every single one of you for joining me today. All right, now I gotta go find the right song for these ladies to dance to, because I know I have it. It's in here somewhere. Give me a moment, ladies. I got it, and you guys were fantastic. Up the Fashionistas. This is DJ Temptation. I got a couple of more tunes and then another DJ at the top of the hour. You do not want to miss it.